Hi, grade sevens. Can you believe it's week three already? Week three, week seven already of our online learning. And I must say, I miss you guys. I miss being in class with you. I miss having to fight with you for standing outside and not going in and taking out your books and listening to all your stories to try and distract me from working. But I miss you guys. But it looks like we might be back in the beginning of June, so hopefully this will be our second last week of just online learning. But I think we'll continue having a bit of a mixture of both online learning and seeing you at school, because I don't think you guys will be able to come back to school every day. But we'll let your parents know about that, and we'll keep you up to date. But I wanted to just chat to you guys about the NS for this week. There isn't a lot of work, and I've deliberately, last week, it also wasn't that much work, but this week it's an introduction to acids, bases, and acids. Oh, sorry, acids, bases, and neutrals. So, very basic introduction. You'll see. I'll show you now on the prep what we're going to do. But I really want to ask you guys to make use of this week, make use of the time, the extra time, because you don't have so much work, and catch up on all your NS work. When you get back to school, I'm going to take in your books and I'm going to look at the work that you've been given over the past, it would probably then be 8 or 9 weeks. And based on your work for the 8 or 9 weeks, you're going to receive a mark for NS. It will be one of your marks for NS for this term. So it will be a bookmark, and I'm going to look at things like, have you done all the work that you were supposed to do? Have you answered all the activities? Have you marked all the activities? And if you didn't just copy it from the memo, which I think some of you might have done, um, I hope you didn't. I hope you tried and then used the memo to mark your work. If you got it wrong, there have to be corrections. Is it neat? And are there did you rule off? Did you start again with a new date? All of those sort of things. I'm going to look at your book and look at whether you've done this work or not. But for this week, I'm going to show you quickly what we have planned here. Okay, so for Monday, it's a very basic introduction. You'll see you can read page 95, 96, and 97 in the textbooks. I'm not going to be able to show you. You won't be able to see it now. But you read page 95 to 97 for me. 95 has an activity, activity 1, very short activity, nothing you have to do. It's just thinking about what they're asking you. And just do that for me and mark it. Then you'll see on Tuesday, you're going to read 96 and 97 again for me, like I say there. This is just to help you get an understanding of what we're busy with. Then activity 2, you'll see they're asking you to use certain things to taste and to feel and to describe your taste and to describe your feel and the feeling of the things they're asking you. So I want to just make sure you know this. Please don't eat or taste anything that's not safe for eating, or don't go and take jig from the sink and find out if it's an acid or a neutral or a base or a whatever. They're not asking you to do that anyway, so don't go and make up your own stuff. But please make sure that you speak to mom or dad or granny or whoever's looking after you, wherever you are at the moment, and the things you taste for activity 2 are safe. I would say use stuff out of the fridge. Be creative. Sugar, salt, pepper. You can eat, you can taste a whole bunch of things from there without having to taste all weird stuff. So please make sure, don't eat anything that you're not allowed to and that you haven't got permission to do. But what I want you to do, though, so you can substitute, but make sure, like I say there, you have to have at least 8 substances to try. And what I want you to try and do is try and identify on your tongue, if you eat something salty, where on your tongue do you taste it? If you eat something um, that's bitter, where on your tongue can you taste it? So you might not have um, an idea yet, but you can eat some. If you've got instant coffee, just take a teaspoon of instant coffee and take a bite of that. Or make some coffee and taste it black, no milk, no sugar, and taste the bitterness of the coffee. But the things you taste, try and identify where on your tongue you are tasting them. If you're old like me, um, it's a little bit more difficult, but I think you guys are still able to do it. If you eat a lemon or if you put lemon juice in your mouth, you can feel it's on the sides of your tongue. Sweetness, try and identify that. The textbook says that there are four main tastes: sweet, salt, sour, and bitter. If you Google it, you'll see that science and the textbook don't always necessarily agree with each other, especially around this. There are other tastes. They say now, I saw that water has a very distinct taste, and they say that's the sixth taste. The fifth taste is something I'd like you to Google, and um, let's see if you are actually watching the video. Let's see if you're actually doing it. So when you do activity 2, I want you to an additional question. Activity 2 has um, just the 2 questions. So for activity 2, I want you to add a third question, and I want you to list, if you Google it, what tastes do scientists believe we can taste on our tongues? So not just those, salt, sour, sweet. I want you to see if you can find those for me. But yes, activity 2 also not very difficult. It's actually a fun one to do and also not very long. Then on Wednesday, you'll see we've got acids, bases, and neutrals again. We moving on to the next page where it starts now introducing acids. And it talks about the taste of an acid is usually sour. So lemon juice would be an acid. That's usually how they determine that. And we've got some cool experiments coming up next week. So what I want you to do is, if you can, if mom or dad or somebody goes to the shops, ask them if they see red cabbage. So not the normal cabbage, a red cabbage. If it's too expensive, don't get it. Don't stress about it. But I've seen that I actually haven't looked for them in the shop since lockdown, so I'm not even sure if you'll get them. I'm going out this week to try them as well. But we're going to need them for our experiments the week after this. But in activity 3, all you do is you base your answers on activity 2 and you give some feedback on that. It's not a lot of work, but guys, please make sure you catch up this week. Looking forward to seeing you guys. Have a good week and stay safe. Okay, guys, bye.